the era of booming social media and media, dramatic love stories often capture the attention of millions. Who hasn't dreamed of a romantic relationship where two souls intertwine, conquering all challenges together? Especially if a man could meet and fall in love with a beautiful, charming woman who always shows care for her beloved. But little did anyone know that this very care and radiant beauty would become the nightmare of a deadly love story. And that beautiful woman was none other than Jodi Arias. Beneath her gentle smile lay a terrifying mask. She was someone who sent shivers down the spines of people across America when her name was mentioned. This case shocked the nation not only because of its brutal violence but also due to the secrets, manipulation, and chilling details exposed to the public. Let's embark on a journey to explore this case today. Before we begin, if you enjoy true crime stories, please take a moment to support by liking, sharing, or leaving a comment. Your support will help me continue bringing you captivating cases like this one. To understand the case, we need to rewind time and explore the lives of the two main characters and what brought them together. The case began in the United States in the early 21st century, when social media wasn't yet as dominant as it is today, but personal relationships were already influenced by modern culture, where appearance, ambition, and connections played significant roles. Jodi Arias was born on July 9, 1980, in Salinas, California, to an ordinary middle-class family. Her father, William Arias, was a restaurant owner, and her mother, Sandy Arias, worked as a dental assistant. Jodi was the eldest in a family of 4 siblings, with 2 younger brothers and a younger sister. From a young age, Jodi was described as a smart, creative, but somewhat shy girl. She loved art, particularly drawing and photography, and often dreamed of a remarkable life where she could leave her mark. However, Jodi's childhood wasn't entirely peaceful. She once claimed to have had a strained relationship with her parents, especially her mother, whom she described as overly strict. Some sources suggested that Jodi faced harsh discipline, even physical punishment, though her family denied these allegations. Whatever the truth, it's clear that Jodi always felt misunderstood, which fostered in her a deep desire for recognition and love. In high school, Jodi was an average student, not particularly outstanding but also not in any major trouble. She began dating early and romantic relationships seemed to be the center of her life. Jodi had a special charm. She was beautiful with long glossy hair, large eyes, and a friendly smile. But behind that exterior was a vulnerable soul, constantly seeking validation from others. After graduating high school in 1998, Jodi didn't pursue college and instead took on various jobs to make a living. She worked as a waitress, a salesperson, and even tried her hand at photography, a passion she hoped would become a career. However, Jodi's life was unstable. She frequently moved between California, Oregon, and Nevada, and her relationships were short-lived. One of Jodi's most significant relationships before meeting Travis Alexander was with Daryl Brewer, a man much older than her. Daryl Brewer met Jodi while she was working at a resort in California. He was a calm, divorced man with a child. Their relationship lasted a few years, and Jodi even lived with Daryl in Palm Desert, California. However, Daryl later recounted that Jodi could be controlling and sometimes acted strangely, such as frequently checking his phone. Still, Daryl didn't consider Jodi dangerous. They eventually parted ways in 2006 when Jodi felt that life with Daryl wasn't enough to satisfy her ambitions. At 26, Jodi was still searching for purpose in life. She wanted success and attention but didn't know how to achieve it. It was during this time that she became interested in a multi-level marketing company called Prepaid Legal Services, where she hoped to earn significant money and build a career. It was here that fate brought her to Travis Alexander. Travis Victor Alexander was born on July 28, 1977, in Riverside, California, into a family plagued by hardship. His parents, Gary and Pamela Alexander, were both drug addicts, making Travis's childhood, along with that of his 7 siblings, filled with instability. Travis once shared that he frequently witnessed domestic violence, went hungry, and lived in poverty. His life only changed when he and his siblings were taken in by their grandmother, Norma Sarvey, in 1984. Under her care, Travis found stability and was introduced to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as the Mormon Church. Religion became the cornerstone of Travis's life, shaping his values and ambitions. He became a devout follower, adhering to the strict principles of Mormonism, including abstaining from alcohol, drugs, and premarital sex. Travis was described as a charismatic, intelligent, and energetic man. With a radiant smile and persuasive charm, he easily captured people's attention. After graduating high school, Travis served as a Mormon missionary in Colorado, an experience that solidified his faith. He later moved to Mesa, Arizona, and began working for Prepaid Legal Services, where he quickly rose to a senior management position due to his sales talent and leadership skills. By age 30, Travis had achieved significant success. He owned a spacious home, drove a BMW, and was a motivational speaker admired by many in the Mormon community. However, Travis was not perfect. As a single man, he enjoyed attention from women and sometimes struggled to balance his faith with personal desires. Despite his commitment to living chastely according to Mormon doctrine, Travis confided in friends that he found it challenging to resist sexual temptations. This internal conflict made him vulnerable to a tumultuous relationship with Jodi Arias. The story of Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander began in September 2006 at a Prepaid Legal Services conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. Jodi, then 26, had recently joined the company and was eager to build her career. She attended the conference hoping to learn and network with successful individuals. Travis, 29, was already a star in the company, known for his inspiring speeches and confident demeanor. At the conference, Travis was immediately drawn to Jodi. She was beautiful, charming, and seemed genuinely interested in what he had to say. Jodi, in turn, was impressed by Travis's confidence and success. He embodied everything she desired, a man with ambition, status, and recognition. After the conference, they began communicating via phone and email, quickly forming a close bond. Travis was captivated by Jodi's enthusiasm, as she seemed ready to support him in everything. She frequently sent him sweet messages, complimenting him and expressing admiration. Jodi, meanwhile, saw Travis as an opportunity to transform her life. She believed a relationship with him would help her achieve what she had always dreamed of: stability, success, and love. However, there was a significant obstacle. Travis was a devout Mormon, while Jodi did not belong to the faith. Mormonism encourages members to marry within the religion, and Travis had told friends he wanted to find a Mormon wife to build a family. Despite this, Jodi's allure was hard for him to resist. Just weeks after meeting, Jodi began exploring Mormonism, attending church services, and even expressing a desire to be baptized to become a member. In February 2007, Jodi was officially baptized in Mesa, Arizona, with Travis guiding her through the process. This event seemed to bring them closer, but it also marked the beginning of a stormy relationship. After her baptism, Jodi decided to move from Palm Desert, California, to Mesa to be near Travis. She rented an apartment not far from his home, and the two began officially dating in February 2007. From the outside, Jodi and Travis appeared to be a perfect couple. They attended Prepaid Legal Services events together, traveled, and shared joyful moments. Jodi frequently photographed Travis, and he enjoyed the attention she gave him. However, behind the facade of happiness, their relationship quickly showed cracks. Travis was torn between his feelings for Jodi and his religious beliefs. As a Mormon, he knew a relationship with Jodi didn't align with his long-term plans, especially since she was a new convert and not fully integrated into the Mormon community. Moreover, Travis began to notice Jodi's controlling tendencies. She frequently texted or called to check on him and sometimes showed up unannounced at his home. Jodi, meanwhile, became increasingly obsessed with Travis. She viewed him as the center of her life and was willing to do anything to keep him by her side. She changed her appearance, dyeing her hair from brown to blonde to match Travis's preferences, and tried to blend into his Mormon community. However, she sensed that Travis wasn't fully committed. He often spoke about wanting to find a suitable wife for marriage, which made Jodi feel insecure. Their relationship grew more complicated as it became physical. Despite Travis's commitment to Mormon chastity, he and Jodi began engaging in sexual activities, which he considered a violation of his faith. These moments often left Travis feeling guilty, and he started to emotionally distance himself from Jodi. He was still attracted to her but also wanted to end the relationship to focus on finding a Mormon wife. In June 2007, just 4 months after they started dating, Travis decided to break up with Jodi. He told her he wanted to focus on his faith and find someone suitable for marriage. However, he didn't completely cut off contact. Travis continued texting and calling Jodi, and they occasionally met, often falling back into physical intimacy. This ambiguity fueled Jodi's obsession, as she believed she still had a chance to win him back. After the breakup, Jodi refused to leave Travis's life. She continued living in Mesa, attending Mormon events and finding ways to stay in touch with him. Travis, despite the breakup, maintained contact with Jodi, partly because he was still attracted to her and partly because he didn't want to hurt her. He once told friends he felt guilty for leading Jodi into Mormonism and wanted to support her religious journey. However, Jodi's behavior grew increasingly concerning. She began showing up at Travis's house unannounced, sometimes at night. On one occasion, Travis's roommate, Zach Billings, caught Jodi peering through Travis's bedroom window in the middle of the night. When confronted, Jodi claimed she was just checking on Travis's well-being. This behavior prompted Travis's friends to warn him that Jodi could be dangerous. Travis also started noticing alarming signs. He discovered his car tires had been slashed and suspected Jodi was behind it, though he lacked concrete evidence. He also received anonymous emails sent to his new girlfriend, Lisa Andrews, warning that Travis was unfaithful. Travis believed Jodi sent these emails but chose not to confront her directly. By late 2007, Jodi decided to move back to Yreka, California, to live with her grandparents, over 1,000 miles from Mesa. She told Travis she wanted a fresh start, but in reality she continued contacting him daily via texts, emails, and phone calls. Jodi also began monitoring Travis's social media activity, particularly when he started dating Lisa Andrews, a Mormon woman he met at church. Lisa Andrews was a young, devout Mormon highly regarded in Travis's community. Travis was serious about Lisa and hoped she would be his future wife. However, their relationship faced challenges due to Jodi's interference. Beyond the anonymous emails, Lisa received strange messages, and on one occasion she found her car tires slashed shortly after an argument with Travis. Lisa began to suspect Jodi, and she urged Travis to completely cut off contact with her. Travis tried to follow Lisa's advice, but he couldn't completely cut ties with Jodi. He continued texting her, and sometimes when Lisa wasn't around, Jodi drove from California to Arizona to see him. These visits often led to intimate moments, deepening Travis's internal conflict. He wanted to live according to his faith, but Jodi's allure kept pulling him back. In early 2008, Travis and Lisa Andrews broke up, largely due to the stress caused by Jodi's interference. Travis felt disappointed but began to realize that Jodi was controlling his life in an unhealthy way. He told friends he wanted to end things with Jodi for good, but he worried she would react negatively. Travis didn't know that this decision would lead to a series of horrific events. By spring 2008, Jodi was growing increasingly desperate. She felt Travis slipping away and couldn't accept the idea of losing him. She began plotting to regain his attention while harboring resentment over his dating other women. Jodi believed Travis belonged to her and was willing to do anything to keep him. Meanwhile, Travis was preparing for an important trip. He had been invited to a prepaid legal services conference in Cancun, Mexico, in June 2008. He planned to attend with a new female friend, Mimi Hall, whom he was getting to know. Travis was excited about the trip, seeing it as a chance to start a new chapter in his life. Jodi learned about Travis's trip and became obsessed with the idea that he was moving on with Mimi Hall. She started contacting Travis more frequently, sending him suggestive messages and proposing they meet before he left for Cancun. Despite trying to keep his distance, Travis agreed to let Jodi visit him at his home in Mesa in early June 2008. This was a fateful decision. On June 4, 2008, Jodi Arias drove from Yreka, California, to Mesa, Arizona, a journey of over 1,000 miles, to meet Travis Alexander. However, this trip was far from a casual visit. Investigators later discovered that Jodi had meticulously prepared for the journey, and her actions suggested dangerous intentions. Before leaving Yreka, Jodi rented a car to avoid using her own vehicle. She also turned off her cell phone to avoid being tracked. On her way, she stopped at her grandparents' home in Redding, California, where she stole a .25 caliber handgun from their safe. This detail proved crucial, as police later found a similar gun was used in the murder. Jodi arrived at Travis's house in the early morning of June 4. Travis welcomed her in and they spent the day together. According to Jodi's later testimony, they took photos, watched movies, and were intimate. Travis seemed unaware of any danger from Jodi. He still believed this was just a typical visit, though he had told friends he planned to stop contact with Jodi after this. In the afternoon, Travis and Jodi took a series of photos in his bathroom. Jodi, an amateur photographer, suggested photographing Travis while he showered. These photos later became critical evidence, as they captured Travis's final moments. Around 5:30 p.m., while Travis was showering, Jodi suddenly attacked him. According to the autopsy report, Travis was stabbed 27 times with wounds concentrated on his chest, back, and head. A deep slash across his throat nearly severed his windpipe, rendering him unable to call for help. Additionally, Travis was shot once in the head with a .25 caliber handgun, though investigators couldn't determine the exact sequence of the injuries. The attack lasted only a few minutes, but the level of violence revealed Jody's rage and determination. After Travis collapsed, Jody dragged his body from the bathroom to the bedroom, leaving a long trail of blood on the floor. She attempted to cover her tracks by throwing clothes and towels into the washing machine, but she couldn't fully conceal the crime scene. After the murder, Jody left Travis's house and drove to Utah, where she met Ryan Burns, a man she was getting to know through prepaid legal services. She arrived at Ryan's home on the evening of June 5, acting as if nothing had happened. Ryan later testified that Jody seemed normal, though he noticed small cuts on her hands, which she explained as injuries from breaking glass while working. Travis Alexander's body wasn't discovered until June 9, 2008, when his friends, Mimi Hall and Zach Billings, grew concerned after being unable to contact him. They went to Travis's house and found his body in the bathroom, already decomposing. The blood-soaked crime scene and signs of a brutal attack prompted them to call the police immediately. The Mesa police quickly launched an investigation. They found Travis's recently purchased digital camera damaged in the washing machine. The police were able to recover deleted images showing Jody Arias and Travis Alexander in intimate poses, taken around 1:40 p.m. on June 4. The final photo of Travis alive, showing him in the shower, was taken at 5:29 p.m. that day. Photos taken minutes later depicted an individual, believed to be Travis, bleeding profusely on the bathroom floor. A bloody palm print found along the bathroom hallway wall contained DNA from both Jody Arias and Travis Alexander. This was critical evidence linking Jody to the crime. The police also discovered that a .25 caliber handgun stolen from Jody's grandparents' home days before the murder matched the type used in the crime. Additionally, they found Jody's hair and fingerprints at the scene, along with a bullet casing consistent with the stolen gun. Based on this evidence, Jody Arias became the prime suspect. On July 15, 2008, Jody was arrested in Yreka, California, and charged with first-degree murder. Initially, she denied any involvement in Travis's death, claiming she wasn't in Arizona at the time of the crime and even suggesting that Travis was attacked by two intruders. However, when confronted with the camera evidence and physical traces, Jody changed her story. During the trial, which began in 2013, Jody admitted to killing Travis but claimed it was in self-defense. She testified that Travis became violent after she dropped his camera, forcing her to kill him to protect herself. Jody portrayed Travis as a promiscuous, abusive man, claiming she was a victim of emotional and physical abuse. However, Jody's story failed to convince the jury. Prosecutors argued that Jody had premeditated the murder, as evidenced by her stealing the gun, renting a car, and turning off her phone to avoid being tracked. They presented messages and emails between Jody and Travis, showing her as controlling and obsessive while Travis tried to distance himself. The trial lasted months and drew nationwide media attention. Jody became a focal point of curiosity and criticism, with her appearance constantly changing and her dramatic testimony. She even appeared on television programs to tell her story, but this only further outraged the public. On May 8, 2013, Jody Arias was convicted of first-degree murder. After much debate over sentencing, she was sentenced to life in prison without parole on April 13, 2015. She is currently serving her sentence at the Perryville State Prison in Arizona. Travis Alexander's death left an indelible pain for his family and friends. He is remembered as a kind, ambitious man who always tried to live according to his faith, even if he didn't always succeed. Travis's family fought to protect his reputation, as Jody and her legal team attempted to portray him as a promiscuous and violent man. The Jody Arias case became one of the most infamous in the United States, not only due to its extreme violence but also because it exposed the dark sides of love and obsession. It sparked discussions about relationship violence, psychological abuse, and the media's role in shaping public perception. Jody Arias, once a girl dreaming of love and success, became a symbol of manipulation and crime. Her life serves as a warning of how obsession can lead to irreparable consequences. Meanwhile, Travis Alexander remains a tragic memory, a man with great potential whose life was cut short too soon. If you've read this far, you're truly a fan of true crime. Please share this story, leave a comment, or hit the like button to show your support. Thank you for joining me through this tragic case. See you in the next one. Through this tragic case. See you